does Leury have a spot on this roster?
I mean, let's put it this way. Had you asked me this before we went down to spring training, I would have said, yeah, of course he does. Since coming back from spring training, it's probably a little less than 100%. I still think Leury Garcia ends up on this team, but there's some doubt. I mean, I think, listen, you've got to do what's best for your team, and there are some qualities that Leury Garcia does not possess, or that other players have in more quantity that could be very valuable to this team. I mean, you guys bring up Hanser Alberto. Yeah, he's hitting. That's a good thing, but he's hitting in practice. The thing that people like about Hanser Alberto is the hitting that he's done specifically against, I believe, right-handed pitching during the regular season.
Otherwise, left-handed.
Left-handed pitching, excuse me. And then very much the clubhouse presence that he provides on a regular basis. If those things outweigh the versatility that Leury brings, then maybe Hanser Alberto does win that roster spot over him. But I wouldn't look at it strictly based on the results of spring training games. You might want to look at what the White Sox were willing to do with Dallas Keuchel last year, which was, all right, we'll give you a shot, but if it's not working come mid-May, we got other guys that can do this better. We'll eat the money. I mean, I think that you would go into this really thinking, oh, there's no way they're ever going to cut him loose because they owe him X million over the next 2 years. They cut Keuchel loose, and they owed him a good deal of money too. So, yes, it's about getting the job done. Did he get it done last year? No, of course he didn't. But I would probably lean towards them giving him a shot to show that he can be the player they paid him to be, which is not an everyday guy, which is a guy who can fill in a utility role. I would say the odds are probably in favor of them giving him that chance in April rather than just cut him loose at the end of March. That being said, I'm less confident to a degree in saying that than I would have, about 2 months ago.
With Jerry Reinsdorf, loyalty is very important. Leury Garcia is much loved in that White Sox clubhouse, and he's the most tenured White Sox currently. So it will take a lot for Leury Garcia to be off of this team. And I know Melissa said, except for the contract, what can you say about it? It's not a necessary meritocracy, and it's a backups position. So unless Hanser Alberto is way above and much better than Leury Garcia, and it's showing that where Leury is dog trash and Hanser Alberto might start for the White Sox, that might be a place where you say, hey, I'm going to let Leury go. But if it's negligible, if it's Hanser Alberto is a little bit better than Leury Garcia, they're not going to DFA Leury Garcia just to pay him $11 million more. So, yeah, I have my gripes about Leury Garcia. Main gripe about Leury Garcia is he plays too much, but that's not his fault. He plays too much because of other factors. And they gave him a contract that was way above his head. But he's going to be on this team for me, I think, no matter what. And if he isn't, I think that's a good thing for everybody. That shows the White Sox are more into meritocracy. They're more into, hey, you got to win the job every year. And if you aren't going to win the job, we're going to release you like we did with Dallas, like we did with Leury, etc. So I think he's going to be on this team no matter what, unless there's a change in White Sox doing business. I think he's going to stay on the team for the beginning of the season. And like Vinnie said, maybe during the season they see that he's not doing the job. Then they might let him go. But it's going to be tough to swallow $11 million just to let him go for Hanser Alberto.
Well, and to be fair to Hanser, he's got a little bit of versatility himself. Plays second base last year, third base, shortstop, first base, and right field. So maybe, I mean, if they're a serious ball club, I don't really care about them eating money. Eat the money if the player's that better. I just don't know if Hanser Alberto is that much better. However, though, past 3 years, weighted runs created plus of 82 compared to Leury's 76. He has 56 extra base hits compared to Leury's 46, and it's in about let's say 60 plate appearances or so, 60 less plate appearances. And against left-handers, Hanser Alberto has a 107 weighted runs created plus over the last 3 years, so he is an above-average major league hitter. And Leury Garcia is not versus lefties or righters. He's still below league average. So he does provide above average flexibility, but I don't know if he brings anything else that's above average. So I would say that, 75% chance that Garcia makes this team, but I wouldn't be surprised if Hanser Alberto makes it come, May 30th or whatever, or March 30th, whatever that is. I'm jumping 2 months. But yeah, I think Hanser Alberto has a pretty decent chance.
You just tried to add 2 months to spring training on me. That was that was frightening.
No, we're ready for baseball.